Act 1 of Timon of Athens by William Shakespeare. Scene 1. Athens, a hall in Timon's house. Enter poet, painter, jeweller, merchant, and others at several doors.
Good day, sir.
I am glad you're well.
I have not seen you long. How goes the world?
It wears, sir, as it grows.
Ay, that's well known. But what particular rarity? What strange, which manifold record not matches? See, magic of bounty! All these spirits thy power hath conjured to attend. I know the merchant.
I know them both. T'other's a jeweller.
Oh, 'tis a worthy lord.
Nay, that's most fixed.
A most incomparable man, breathed, as it were, to an untirable and continuate goodness. He passes.
I have a jewel here.
Oh, pray, let's see it. For the Lord Timon, sir.
If he will touch the estimate, but for that...
Reciting to himself.
When we for recompense have praised the vile, it stains the glory in that happy verse which aptly sings the good.
'Tis a good form.
Looking at the jewel.
And rich. Here is a water, look ye.
You are wrapped, sir, in some work, some dedication to the great Lord.
A thing slipped idly from me. Our poesy is as a gum which oozes from whence 'tis nourished. The fire i' the flint shows not till it be struck. Our gentle flame provokes itself, and like the current flies each bound it chafes. What have you there?
A picture, sir. When comes your book forth?
Upon the heels of my presentment, sir. Let's see your piece.
'Tis a good piece.
So 'tis. This comes off well and excellent.
Indifferent.
Admirable. How this grace speaks his own standing. What a mental power this eye shoots forth. How big imagination moves in this lip. To the dumbness of the gesture one might interpret.
It is a pretty mocking of the life. Here is a touch. Is't good?
I will say of it, it tutors nature. Artificial strife lives in these touches, livelier than life.
Enter certain senators, and pass over.
How this lord is followed!
The senators of Athens. Happy man.
Look, more.
You see this confluence, this great flood of visitors? I have in this rough work shaped out a man, whom this beneath world doth embrace and hug with amplest entertainment. My free drift halts not particularly, but moves itself in a wide sea of wax. No levelled malice infects one comma in the course I hold, but flies an eagle flight bold and forth on, leaving no tract behind.
How shall I understand you?
I will unbolt to you. You see how all conditions, how all minds, as well of glib and slippery creatures as of grave and austere quality, tendered down their services to Lord Timon. His large fortune upon his good and gracious nature hanging, subdues and properties to his love and tendance all sorts of hearts, yea, from the glass-faced flatterer to Epamantus, that few things loves better than to abhor himself. Even he drops down the knee before him, and returns in peace most rich in Timon's nod.
I saw them speak together.
Sir, I have upon a high and pleasant hill feigned fortune to be throned. The base of the mount is ranked with all deserts, all kinds of natures that labour on the bosom of this sphere to propagate their states. Amongst them all, whose eyes are on this sovereign lady fixed, one do I personate of Lord Timon's frame, whom fortune with her ivory hand wafts to her, whose present grace to present slaves and servants translates his rivals.
'Tis conceived to scope, this throne, this fortune, and this hill, methinks, with one man beckoned from the rest below, bowing his head against the sleeping mount to climb his happiness, would be well expressed in our condition.
Nay, sir, but hear me on. All those which were his fellows but of late, some better than his value, On the moment follow his strides, his lobbies fill with attendants, rain sacrificial whisperings in his ear, make sacred even his stirrup, and through him drink the free air.
Ay, marry, what of these?
When fortune in her shift and change of mood spurns down her late beloved, all his dependents which laboured after him to the mountain's top, even on their knees and hands, let him slip down, not one accompanying his declining foot.
'Tis common. 1,000 moral paintings I can show that shall demonstrate these quick blows of fortunes more pregnantly than words. Yet you do well to show Lord Timon that mean eyes have seen the foot above the head.
Trumpets sound. Enter Timon, addressing himself courteously to every suitor. A messenger from Ventidius talking with him. Lucilius and other servants following.
Imprisoned is he, say you?
Ay, my good lord, 5 talents is his debt, his means most short, his creditors most strait. Your honourable letter he desires to those have shut him up, which failing period his comfort.
Noble Ventidius, well, I am not of that feather to shake off my friend when he must need me. I do know him a gentleman that well deserves the help, which he shall have. I'll pay the debt and free him.
Your lordship ever binds him.
Commend me to him. I will send his ransom, and being enfranchised, bid him come to me. 'Tis not enough to help the feeble up, but to support him after. Fare you well.
All happiness to your honour.
Exit. Enter an old Athenian.
Lord Timon, hear me speak.
Freely, good father.
Thou hast a servant named Lucilius.
I have so. What of him?
Most noble Timon, call the man before thee.
Attends he here or no? Lucilius!
Here at your lordship's service.
This fellow here, Lord Timon, this, thy creature, by night frequents my house. I am a man that from my fast have been inclined to thrift, and my estate deserves an air more raised than one which holds a trencher.
Well, what further?
One only daughter have I, no kin else, on whom I may confer what I have got. The maid is fair, or the youngest for a bride, and I have bred her at my dearest cost, in qualities of the best. This man of thine attempts her love. I prithee, noble lord, join with me to forbid him her resort. Myself have spoke in vain.
The man is honest.
Therefore he will be, Timon. His honesty rewards him in itself. It must not bear my daughter.
Does she love him?
She is young and apt. Our own precedent passions do instruct us. What levities in youth!
To Lucilius.
Love you the maid?
Ay, my good lord, and she accepts of it.
If in her marriage my consent be missing, I call the gods to witness, I will choose mine heir from forth the beggars of the world, and dispossess her all.
How shall she be endowed if she be mated with an equal husband?
3 talents on the present, in future all.
This gentleman of mine hath served me long. To build his fortune I will strain a little, for 'tis a bond in main. Give him thy daughter. What you bestow, in him I'll counterpoise, and make him weigh with her.
Most noble lord, pawn me to this your honour. She is his.
My hand to thee, mine honour on my promise.
Humbly I thank your lordship. Never may the state or fortune fall into my keeping, which is not owed to you.
Exeunt Lucilius and old Athenian.
Vouchsafe my labour, and long live your lordship.
I thank you. You shall hear from me anon. Go not away. What have you there, my friend?
A piece of painting, which I do beseech your lordship to accept.
Painting is welcome. The painting is almost the natural man, for since dishonour traffics with man's nature, he is but outside. These pencilled figures are even such as they give out. I like your work, and you shall find I like it. Wait attendance till you hear further from me.
The gods preserve ye.
Well fare you, gentlemen. Give me your hand. We must needs dine together. Sir, your jewel hath suffered under praise.
What, my lord, dispraise?
A mere satiety of commendations. If I should pay you for it as 'tis extolled, it would unclue me quite.
My lord, 'tis rated as those which sell would give. But you well know things of like value, differing in their owners, are prized by their masters. Belief, dear lord, you mend the jewel by the wearing it.
Well mocked.
No, my good lord, he speaks the common tongue, which all men speak with him.
Look, who comes here? Will you be chid?
Enter Epaminondas.
He'll spare none.
Good morrow to thee, gentle Epaminondas.
Till I be gentle, stay thou for thy good morrow, when thou art Timon's dog, and these knaves honest.
Why dost thou call them knaves? Thou knowest them not.
Are they not Athenians?
Yes.
Then I repent not.
You know me, Epaminondas?
Thou know'st I do. I called thee by thy name.
Thou art proud, Epaminondas.
Of nothing so much as that I am not like Timon.
Whither art going?
Oh, to knock out an honest Athenian's brains.
That's a deed thou'lt die for.
Right, if doing nothing be death by the law.
How likest thou this picture, Epaminondas?
Pooh, the best for the innocents.
Wrought he not well that painted it?
He wrought better that made the painter, and yet he's but a filthy piece of work.
You're a dog.
Thy mother's of my generation. What's she if I be a dog?
Wilt dine with me, Epaminondas?
No, I eat not lords.
And thou shouldst, thou'dst anger ladies.
Oh, they eat lords, so they come by great bellies.
That's a lascivious apprehension.
So thou apprehendest it. Take it for thy labour.
How dost thou like this jewel, Epaminondas?
Not so well as plain dealing, which will not cost a man a doit.
What dost thou think 'tis worth?
Not worth my thinking. How now, poet?
How now, philosopher?
Thou liest.
Art not one?
Yes.
Then I lie not.
Art not a poet?
Yes.
Then thou liest. Look in thee last work, where thou hast feigned him a worthy fellow.
That's not feigned, he is so.
Yes, he is worthy of thee, and to pay thee for thy labour. He that loves to be flattered is worthy of the flatterer. Ah, heavens, that I were a lord!
What wouldst do then, Epaminondas?
E'en as Epaminondas does now, hate a lord with me heart.
What, thyself?
Aye.
Wherefore?
That I had no angry wit to be a lord. Art not thou a merchant?
Epaminondas.
Traffic confound thee, if the gods will not.
If traffic do it, the gods do it.
Traffic's thy god, and thy god confound thee.
Trumpet sounds. Enter a messenger.
What trumpet's that?
'Tis Alcibiades and some 20 horse, all of companionship.
Pray entertain them, give them guide to us.
Exeunt some attendants.
You must needs dine with me. Go not you hence till I have thanked you. When dinner's done, show me this piece. I am joyful of your sights.
Enter Alcibiades with the rest.
Most welcome, sir.
So, there. Oh, aches contract and starve your supple joints. That there should be small love mongst these sweet knaves, and all this courtesy. The strain of man's bred out into baboon and monkey.
Sir, you have saved my longing, and I feed most hungrily on your sight.
Right welcome, sir. Ere we depart, we'll share a bounteous time in different pleasures. Pray you, let us in.
Exeunt all except Epaminondas. Enter 2 lords.
What time o' day is't, Epaminondas?
Time to be honest.
That time serves still.
The more accursed thou that still omitt'st it.
Thou art going to Lord Timon's feast?
Ay, to see meat fill knaves and wine heat fools.
Fare thee well, fare thee well.
Thou art a fool to bid me farewell twice.
Why, Epamintus?
Shouldst have kept one to thyself, for I mean to give thee none.
Hang thyself.
No, I will do nothing at thy bidding. Make thy requests to thy friend.
Away, unpeaceable dog, or I'll spurn thee hence.
I will fly like a dog the heels of the ass.
Exit.
He's opposite to humanity. Come, shall we in and taste Lord Timon's bounty? He outgoes the very heart of kindness.
He pours it out. Plutus, the god of gold, is but his steward. No meed, but he repays sevenfold above itself. No gift to him, but breeds the giver a return exceeding all use of quittance.
The noblest mind he carries that ever governed man.
Long may he live in fortunes. Shall we in?
I'll keep you company.
Exeunt. Act 1, Scene 2. A banqueting room in Timon's house. Hautboys playing loud music. A great banquet served in. Flavius and others attending. Then enter Timon, Alcibiades, lords, senators, and Ventidius. Then comes dropping, after all, Epamintus, discontentedly, like himself.
Most honoured Timon, it hath pleased the gods to remember my father's age and call him to long peace. He is gone happy, and has left me rich. Then, as in grateful virtue I am bound to your free heart, I do return those talents, doubled with thanks and service, from whose help I derived liberty.
Oh, by no means, honest Ventidius, you mistake my love. I gave it freely ever, and there's none can truly say he gives if he receives. If our betters play at that game, we must not dare to imitate them. False that are rich are fair.
A noble spirit.
They all stand ceremoniously, looking at Timon.
Nay, my lords, ceremony was but devised at first to set a gloss on faint deeds, hollow welcomes, recanting goodness, sorry ere 'tis shown. But where there is true friendship there needs none. Pray, sit, more welcome are ye to my fortunes than my fortunes to me.
They sit.
My lord, we always have confessed it.
Oh, confessed it? And it have you not?
Oh, Epamintus, you are welcome.
No, you shall not make me welcome. I come to have thee thrust me out of doors.
Fie, thou'rt a churl. You've got a humour there does not become a man. 'Tis much to blame. They say, my lords, ira furor brevis est, but yond man is ever angry. Go, let him have a table by himself, for he does neither affect company, nor is he fit for it indeed.
Let me stay at thine apparel, Timon. I come to observe. I give thee warning on't.
I take no heed of thee. Thou art an Athenian, therefore welcome. I myself would have no power. Prithee, let my meat make thee silent.
I scorn thee, mate. 'Twould choke me, for I should ne'er flatter thee. Oh, you gods, what a number of men eat Timon, and he sees 'em not. It grieves me to see so many dip their mate in one man's blood. And all the madness is, he cheers 'em up too. I wonder men dare trust themselves with men. Methinks they should invite them without knives. Good for their meat and safer for their lives. There's much example for't. The fellow that sits next him now, parts bread with him, pledges the breath of him in a divided draught, is the readiest man to kill him. 'Twas been proved. If I were a huge man, I should fear to drink at meals, lest they should spy my windpipe's dangerous notes. Great men should drink with harness on their throats.
My lord, in heart, and let the health go round.
Let it flow this way, my good lord.
flew this way. A brave fella, he keeps his tides well. Those else will make thee and the state look ill, Timon. Here's that which is too weak to be a sinner, honest water, which ne'er left man i' the mire. This and me food are equals, there's no odds. Feasts are too proud to give thanks to the gods. Epaminondas' grace. Immortal gods, I crave no pelf. I pray for no man but myself. Grant I may never prove so fond to trust man on his oath or bond, or a harlot for a weeping, or a dog that seems a sleeping, or a keeper with my freedom, or my friends, if I should need 'em. Amen. So fall to't. Rich men sin, and I eat root.
Eats and drinks.
Much good ditch thee good art, Epaminondas.
Captain Alcibiades, your heart's in the field now.
My heart is ever at your service, my lord.
You had rather be at a breakfast of enemies than a dinner of friends.
So they were bleeding new, my lord. There's no meat like 'em. I wish my best friend at such a feast.
Would all these flatterers were thine enemies, then? Then thou mightst kill 'em, and bid me to 'em.
Might we but have that happiness, my lord, that you would once use our hearts, whereby we might express some part of our seals, we should think ourselves for ever perfect.
Oh, no doubt, my good friends, but the gods themselves have provided that I shall have much help from you. How had you been my friends else? Why have you that charitable title from thousands? Did not you chiefly belong to my heart? I have told more of you to myself than you can with modesty speak in your own behalf, and thus far I confirm you. O you gods, think I, what need we have any friends if we should ne'er have need of 'em? They were the most needless creatures living should we ne'er have use for 'em, and would most resemble sweet instruments hung up in cases that keep their sounds to themselves. Why, I have often wished myself poorer, that I might come nearer to you. We are born to do benefits, and what better or properer can we call our own than the riches of our friends? Oh, what a precious comfort 'tis to have so many, like brothers, commanding one another's fortunes. Oh joy, e'en made away ere it can be borne. Mine eyes cannot hold out water, methinks. To forget their faults, I drink to you.
Oh, thou weepest to make them drink, Timon.
Joy had the like conception in our eyes, and at that instant, like a babe, sprung up.
Oh, I laugh to think that babe a bastard.
I promise you, my lord, you moved me much.
Much?
Tucket within.
What means that trump?
Enter a servant.
How now?
Please you, my lord, there are certain ladies most desirous of admittance.
Ladies, what are their wills?
There comes with them a forerunner, my lord, which bears that office to signify their pleasures.
I pray, let them be admitted.
Enter Cupid.
Hail to thee, worthy Timon, and to all that of his bounty's taste. The 5 best senses acknowledge thee their patron, and come freely to gratulate thy plenteous bosom. The ear, taste, touch, and smell, pleased from thy tale rise. They only now come, but to feast thine eyes.
They are welcome all, let 'em have kind admittance. Music, make their welcome.
Exit Cupid.
You see, my lord, how ample your beloved.
Music. Re-enter Cupid with a mask of ladies as Amazons, with lutes in their hands, dancing and playing.
Oi, tay, what a sweep of vanity comes this way. They dance. They are mad women. Like madness is the glory of this life, as this pomp shows to a little oil and root. We make ourselves fools to disport ourselves, and spend our flatteries to drink those men upon whose age we void it up again, with poisonous spite and envy. Who lives that's not depraved or depraves? Who dies that bears not one spurn to their graves of their friend's gift? I should fear those that dance before me now would one day stamp upon me. 'Thas been done. Men shut their doors against a setting sun.
The lords rise from the table, with much adoring of Timon, and to show their loves, each singles out an Amazon, and all dance, men with women, a lofty strain or two to the hautboys, and cease.
You have done our pleasures much grace, fair ladies, set a fair fashion on our entertainment, which was not half so beautiful and kind. You have added worth unto it and lustre, and entertained me with mine own device. I am to thank you for it.
My lord, you take us even at the best.
Faith, for the worst is filthy, and would not old Tekin, I doubt me.
Ladies, there is an idle banquet attends you. Please to dispose yourselves.
Most thankfully, my lord.
Exeunt Cupid and ladies.
Flavius!
My lord?
The little casket bring me hither.
Yes, my lord.
Aside.
More jewels yet. There is no crossing him in's humour. Else I should tell him, well, ere faith I should, when all's spent, he'll be crossed then, and he could. 'Tis pity bounty had not eyes behind, that man might ne'er be wretched for his mind.
Exit.
Where be our men?
Here, my lord, in readiness.
Our horses.
Re-enter Flavius, with the casket.
Oh, my friends, I have one word to say to you. Look you, my good lord, I must entreat you, honour me so much as to advance this jewel. Accept it and wear it, kind my lord.
I am so far already in your gifts.
So are we all.
Enter a servant.
My lord, there are certain nobles of the Senate newly alighted and come to visit you.
They are fairly welcome.
I beseech your honour, vouchsafe me a word. It does concern you near.
Near? Why then another time I'll hear thee. I prithee, let's be provided to show them entertainment.
Aside.
I scarce know how.
Enter a second servant.
May it please your honour, Lord Lucius, out of his free love, hath presented to you 4 milk-white horses trapped in silver.
I shall accept them fairly. Let the presents be worthily entertained.
Enter a third servant.
How now, what news?
Please you, my lord, that honourable gentleman, Lord Lucullus, entreats your company tomorrow to hunt with him, and has sent your honour 2 brace of greyhounds.
I'll hunt with him, and let them be received, not without fair reward.
Aside.
What will this come to? He commands us to provide and give great gifts, and all out of an empty coffer. Nor will he know his purse, or yield me this, to show him what a beggar his heart is. Being of no power, and make his wishes good. His promises fly so beyond his state, that what he speaks is all in debt. He owes for every word. He is so kind that he now pays interest for it. His lands put to their books. Well, would I were gently put out of office before I were forced out. Happier is he that has no friend to feed, that such to an enemies exceed. I bleed inwardly for my lord.
Exit.
You do yourselves much wrong. You bate too much of your own merits. Here, my lord, a trifle of our love.
With more than common thanks, I will receive it.
Oh, he's the very soul of bounty.
And now I remember, my lord, you gave good words the other day of a bay courser I rode on. It is yours, because you liked it.
Oh, I beseech you, pardon me, my lord, in that.
You may take my word, my lord. I know no man can justly praise but what he does affect. I weigh my friend's affection with mine own. I'll tell you true. I'll call to you.
Oh, none so welcome.
I take all and your several visitations, so kind to heart, 'tis not enough to give. Methinks I could deal kingdoms to my friends and ne'er be weary. Alcibiades, thou art a soldier, therefore seldom rich. It comes in charity to thee. For all thy living is mongst the dead, and all the lands thou hast lie in a pitched field.
Aye, defiled land, my lord.
We are so virtuously bound.
And so am I to you.
So infinitely endeared.
All to you. Lights, more lights.
The best of happiness, honour, and fortunes keep with you, Lord Timon.
Ready for his friends.
Exeunt all but Epaminondas and Timon.
Oh, what a coil's here! Serving of becks and jutting out of bums. I doubt whether the legs be worth the sums that are given for 'em. Friendships full of dregs. Methinks false arts should never have sound legs. Thus honest fools lay out their wealth on curtsies.
Now, Epaminondas, if thou wert not sullen, I would be good to thee.
No, I'll nothing. For if I should be bribed too, there would be none left to rail upon thee, and then thou wouldst sin the faster. Thou givest so long, Timon, I fear me thou wilt give away thyself in paper shortly. What need these feasts, pomps, and vain glories?
Nay, and you begin to rail on society once, I am sworn not to give regard to you. Farewell, and come with better music.
Exit.
So, thou wilt not hear me now, thou shalt not then. I'll lock thy heaven from thee. Ah, that men's ears should be to counsel deaf, but not to flattery.
Exit. End of Act 1.